Midterm elections are just around the corner, and today's Beyond the Podium, we're joined by Congressman Mike Turner, who is battling to keep his seat in the Ohio's Congressional 10th District. Thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Thank you for having me.
So your opponent is Teresa Gasper. What differentiates you from her?
Well, there's a couple things. I mean, one, obviously experience. And that experience is not just the work that I've done. It's that the community knows me and people know the work that I've done. When I served as mayor, we accomplished together the baseball stadium, Riverscape, Schuster Center. As member of Congress, my work to help expand Wright-Patterson Air Force Base and support the men and women who work there. But even beyond that, things such as the mound and working closely with the mayor, Dick Church, there to ensure there was sufficient funds for the environmental remediation that affected our water and allowed for the redevelopment of the mound site. Protecting in Moraine the abandoned GM factory to make certain that it wasn't demolished so that Fuyao can go there, and working with them for the thousands of jobs that are there today. Working with Central State to ensure that we can provide them an expansion of the federal dollars that they provide, that they really should be able to get and have been denied, even though they're a historical black college that should be entitled to these funds. Working with the RTA to ensure that the millions of dollars that they need to transition from diesel to expanding their electrical buses is important. All of those things, people are aware of my work, they're aware of my experience, and that these are technical issues. These are ones that require someone who knows what they're doing, knows how to work with the community and get the job done.
What issues do you think are most important to voters?
Well, there's a number, obviously. I mean, one, jobs, I think, if you look at my record in bringing jobs to the community and working to nurture jobs, that's obviously one that's evident. People see both the thousands of jobs at Fuyao, the other opportunities where I've worked with the community to ensure that there's expansion beyond Wright-Pat, plus the almost 10,000 jobs that are Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, which is obviously very substantial. But the opioid epidemic is one that goes right to the heart of all of us in the community, because we all know someone who has been impacted, and I've worked very diligently, not just to advocate for federal funds, which is important, and changes in federal laws as to how those funds are used, but with the fabric of our local community to ensure that we're prepared and that we're doing the best that we can to aid those who have addiction, or to try to prevent those from trying drugs. In that, I'm probably most proud of my work on the issue of babies born addicted to heroin, working with Bridges Path, bringing here the Secretary for Health and Human Services, and the bill that was just passed of mine that last week that expands the option for federal funds to be used to help the most vulnerable, those born addicted to heroin, and ensure that they have a better life. The
president's still calling for funding for a border wall, and then he's still trying to reform many of the immigration policies in the U.S. What do you think the path forward is for immigration? Well,
the foundation of any immigration policy has to be border control. If you can't control your borders, the basic sovereign issue of having an immigration policy is at risk. So rightly so. I mean, again, back through 3 administrations, we've had this debate of getting control over our borders. The second is reforming immigration so that we actually look at, how do we bring people here that, have the spirit of ingenuity, the spirit of education, the contribution to grow our economy and grow our society. Issues such as chain migration, those are issues that everyone has seen on both sides of the aisle, that does not have the United States being able to adequately administer our immigration policy. So as we look to first controlling our borders, then we look to the second issue of how do we ensure that we have immigration that's good for the United States.
Are you concerned at all about the Republicans losing the majority in either the House or Senate?
I have worked with both Democrat presidents and in Democrat-controlled Congresses and Republican-controlled Congresses. From my work, which is in national security and advocating for the community, there hasn't been much difference. From the national perspective, of course, and the national discourse, there always is. Now, this election is not about Donald Trump. This is an election about what does the community want and what do we need to do to protect our community. And I think that's why working both through as mayor in the Clinton administration, congressman in the Bush administration and Obama administration, and now the Trump administration, and of course, through Democrat and Republican Congresses, people can look at my record and see I'm a guy that gets the job done.
To the voters sitting at home, what would your sales pitch be for them to give you another term?
I think it's the most important aspect is you know me. You know what I've accomplished. You know that if you have a tough assignment and it goes to the economics and the foundation of our community, if you give it to me, it's going to be accomplished and our community will move forward.
Congressman Turner, thank you so much for joining us for Beyond the Podium.
Thank you.